common monomial factor. So when we say factors or factoring polynomials, so it is the reverse process of multiplying polynomials. So if you are familiar with the product or the special product, so this is the reverse for that. So let's begin with the common monomial factors. So there are many different methods on how to factor a given polynomial. So this is one of those, the common monomial factor. So it is usually based on the given. So let's use this method to get the factors of a given polynomial. So when a polynomial is factored, so it is written as the product of two or more factors. Okay? So here in common monomial factor, so each term of a polynomial is divisible by the same monomial. So in common monomial factor, so this method is used if each term of a polynomial is divisible by the same monomial. So there are only two steps on how to get the common monomial factor of a given polynomial. So let's say we have 6a minus 48. So this is an example of a polynomial. So first, we need to find the GCF. Are you familiar with that? When we say GCF, this is the greatest common factor for the given for each term. So we have 6a minus 48. So let's focus on the numerical coefficient first and the constant. So between 6 and 48, what is the greatest common factor? So that will be 6. So 6 and 48 are both divisible by 6. Okay, so for the second step, so we need to divide each term by the greatest common factor to get the other factor. So let's write our GCF here, which is the greatest common factor, and then let's divide each term using this. So 48 divided by 6. Okay, like this one here. And then 6. So this is our first term, our GCF, and for our second term, so let's divide this one. So 6 divided by 6, that is equal to 1. So since that is equal to 1, we do not write it anymore. So let's just write A. Okay? Minus 48 divided by 6, that is equal to 8. And this is the factors of 6a minus 48. Okay, so let's try another one. Let's say 12c minus 28d and then plus 52. Okay, so let's find the GCF first. GCF, or the greatest common factor for each term. So let's focus on the numerical coefficient first. So we have 12, 28, and 52. Okay, so the greatest common factor for this given, or the number, so these numbers can be divided by 4. Okay, so let me adjust that. Okay, so all of these numbers can be divided by 4, and then for the variables, we have c and d. We have different variables, so that means we cannot get the GCF for that. Okay, so we only get the GCF if the given can be divided by this number or variable. So since we only have c on the first term and d on the second term and no variable at all on the third term, so that means we cannot put variables in our GCF. Okay, so next step, so we have our first term here, or we have our first factor here, which is 4, our GCF, and then let's divide each term using our GCF, or the greatest common factor. Okay, divided by 4, 4, and 4. Okay, so we have 4, which is our first factor, and then 12 divided by 4, that is equal to 3c, and then 28 divided by 4, that is 7c, and then 52 divided by 4, that is equal to 13, and this is the answer. So this is the factor of this polynomial here using the common monomial factors. Okay, so let's have another example like this one. So 14 times f cubed minus 42 times f raised to 5 plus 77 times f raised to 7. Again, for the step 1, let's get the first factor by finding the GCF, or the greatest common factor, between this given here. So let's focus on the numerical coefficient first. We have 14, 42, and then 77. So the greatest common factor, or the biggest divisor that we can use for this one, so all of them are divisible by 7. Okay, next, let's focus on the variable. So you have f cubed, f raised to 5, and then f raised to 7. So as you can see here, this variable, or these three terms, has the same variable. So that means we can get the GCF, or the greatest common factor, for this. So how do we know which one is the greatest common factor? So all you have to do is to look at its exponents. So we have for the first one, we have 3, and then 5, and then 7. So look for the variable with the smallest or lowest exponent. So between 3, 5, and 7, so f cubed is the has the smallest exponent, which is 3. So that means the greatest common factor for these three variables is 3, or f cubed. This is 3. Okay, so that means our greatest common factor, or GCF, is 7f cubed. Okay, and this will be our first factor. So let's write that here. So f cubed, and then let's divide each term using our GCF. So that is 14f cubed minus 42. Like this one, and then let's divide that by our GCF. Okay, let's rewrite this one. And then 14 divided by 7, that is equal to 2. F cubed divided by f cubed, that is equal to 1. So since that is 1, we do not write it here anymore. And then next, for the second term, we have 42 times f raised to 5. So 42 divided by 7, that is equal to 6. And then f raised to 5 divided by f raised to 3. So to divide the exponent, we subtract it. Okay? So that means f raised to 5 minus 3. Okay? So we subtract the exponent of our divisor. So f 5 minus 3, that is equal to 2, plus 77 divided by 7, that is 11. And then f raised to 7 divided by f cubed, we need to subtract 3, this one. So f 7 minus 3, that is equal to 4. And this is the answer. Okay, so that's it. So that's how you get the factors for this polynomial here using the common monomial factor.